Alright, perfect. Just okay, no worries. If there's just give me a call back if there's any other things, but no worries. Alright. Cheers, mate. In a bit. Bye-bye. Bye.
How are you? Good, thank you. It's quite solid actually, quite like it.
It's
great
like
view.
It's like durable but sturdy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's alright. Doesn't feel.
As long as I keep looking that way and not that way, I'm okay. You all good?
Yeah.
It's lovely. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually. Your arse just perfectly sits between two rungs.
That's only at the front.
I only do backflips. Yeah. Can't do. Yeah, can't do front.
So that's the best seat in the house.
It is. It is. We joked about it, and then they said, "Yeah, all right, you can do it." Yeah. Fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if Gav giving you a piggy up. Oh, mate. Morning. You a piggy up there? How'd you get up there?
There's a ladder around there.
Oh, there you go.
I just jumped though.
Yeah, I think it was like this thing runs off of like a cellular signal. And,
Yeah.
I think one of the things in the back just wasn't quite plugged in.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna say I've got loads of signal. It's good signal here.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like we don't normally have an issue with these boxes at like county grounds and stuff like that. It's when you go to like try and do it at like a national league ground that you need like a better thing.
The best option is to get on this box and then kind of go up via your arse.
Yeah, sit on it.
Like, yeah. You be careful, sunshine.
Still got the knee strength.
Yeah, well then turn around, go up by your arse. Go up by your arse, it's way easier.
Have one of you sat either side of me?
Yeah.
Give me a good picture.
Yeah, I'd try and go that side. Probably.
Oh, it's dirty. It is a bit dirty. Oh, I've shat myself.
Huh? No, corrugated. Get down here, it'll be also on the joints.
Yeah, you've got a perfect like arse-sized.
Yeah.
Oh, don't feel sturdy.
No, I'd go low.
What do you mean?
But if you get into here, this is fine. Put your weight towards this side because this is where the joint is.
Like me. It's a bit immobile at the minute.
There you go. Once you get onto this bit, forward, like this is on all the solid bit. We got these. Hello and welcome to another fixture. I'm joined with Mr. Guy Hollis, who was there for Cobham away only 6 days ago. Mission ago. Considering Saturday. Back by Pop. It's such a good key at that game. We're here at Alton for another league after what was a game Saturday, Guy, in the Vars against Stoke. It was probably our toughest test yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, we limped the line. I think is probably the best way to put it. You know, having the man advantage for such a long time, advantage at one point. Yeah, we got the job done, but yeah, it wasn't our best performance, I'd say. But it was a tough game.
It was. They were and are going to be a very good side in that Wessex. Today's team for Farnham Town is Pat Nash in goal, Jack Dean right back, centre back partnership of Max Meaton and Ryan Canane, left back Tom Smith, centre midfielders Harry Cooksey and Lamar Karoma, attacking midfielders Daryl Sanders and Joe Jackson, and up front today a total rotation from Saturday is Owen Dean and Lewis Flatman. On the bench, Charlie Postance and Shamard Edwards, who partnered each other up front on Saturday, Ricky Weller, Combattery, Kai Tanner and Dean Rule. What are you expecting from our team bouncing back from a slower game on Saturday? Are you expecting us to come out the blocks? It's an early morning kickoff, which is a bit different. You used to playing those in your career?
Yeah, I've played a few of those on a Sunday, not on a Saturday.
That's true.
I think that we've rotated it, freshened it up. Owen showed great fight, coming off the back of that Saturday to win the pen, so he'll be.
He was great on Tuesday as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, really good. So we've a few changes. I think we'll be up for it. Local derby, fairly good crowd coming. So.
Yeah, it's decent. Last season we did about 550 here on pretty much. Well, I think it was the only combined counties game that was on day because of a frozen pit around the ground. So but I'd say there's probably 300 here. Like, it's decent, and there's a lot of Farnham Town fans. Flags are behind the goal, behind Pat Nash's goal with the clock enders, and the stand opposite us has got quite a lot of Farnham Town fans in it as well. So excited for it. What do you make of the Farnham Town formation this season? Like, something you don't really see at this level of football. 4-2-2-2. Yeah,
it's a strange one. It's taken a bit of getting used to, and I think we are still finding our feet with it. You come up with different formations, playing the opposition, so it's how we adapt to that as well. When do the men need to go wide and certain things like that? But yeah, we're adapting. We've got the right players, I think, to play down the middle of the pitch. Quite creative. So
and lots of options, and that's proved by the fact that we can change two strikers for. We take off two strikers that's combined for like 55 goals last season, and swap it for this Monday lineup, which scored like 45 goals last season.
Exactly that. So I think we've got the right players to do it. It is new for pretty much everyone. We'll just have to keep plugging away. Look, we've had a few tests, but we've won 6 out of 6 now, so we seem to be gelling with it.
Yeah, and scoring goals. 17 goals scored, 1 conceded, and that one was one we won't want to watch back too many times. But mistakes happen at this level, and it's about how you bounce back. And we bounced back, won that game, and roll back into the league, which is our #1 priority this season. How are the players prioritising or thinking about the 3 different cups you're in? You're in the FA Cup still. FA Vars is obviously important for this season, but the league, definitely from my perspective, #1 priority.
I think league first and foremost. FA Cup is a bit of a dream. If you can get a good draw against a higher position, in the next round, or if we were to progress. But other than the league, it's the Vars really. Put that real chance of being able to play at Wembley is something that everyone wants to tick off their bucket list.
Well, we're underway at Alton, on the near side with Tom Smith, and the Farnham fans in good voice early on. I was saying when we arrived, compared to last season, it feels like this pitch is just so much more covered in rubber.
Yes.
And we're seeing that more and more with the 4G pitches that we're playing on.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to add crumb to it, because once it gets below a certain level, I think probably for the impacts and protecting the players as well, because otherwise it would just be, I assume, rock hard. But there is a lot of surface crumb.
That's a lot. We know a bit about this Alton team. Obviously, our local rivals. It's number 10 on the near side, probably their most dangerous player, leggy sort of winger. Rob Carr, who probably wearing number 11, could be wearing number 7, on the far side, around the ball now, closing down the man.
Yeah.
Played for us last season, as did Sowden, number 17 in the middle, at the ponytail.
Could get caught. No. Yeah, familiar with Perry Coles as well.
Perry Coles has played at this level for a long time.
Played with Perry a few times back in the day. He was actually at Slough with us at one point.
Was he? Flicked on by Flatman into nobody and straight through to the goalkeeper. Pat Nash's new luminous boots right in front of us after getting ripped on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear those.
Not as a goalkeeper. You see very few goalkeepers in luminous yellow boots. But actually, the opposite goalkeeper's got it as well. Canane wins the ball in front of his man. And here is that number 10. Looks like Alton are set up in a 4-2-3-1. There's
4-2-3-1, yeah. Yeah, we had info that they'd either be 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2, but looks like they've gone 4-2-3-1.
Max Meaton gets that comfortably, and Farnham will restart their possession from the back. And that's been a common theme this season.
You know, the longer ball is effective at times, but I think there has been times as well where, I mean, even we're guilty of it. We can keep the ball a bit more, be a bit more patient, but yeah, we've got options to mix it up, I think, with the quality of players that we've got.
Without you on the pitch, Flatman with the long throw, and that's a good one, really good
throw,
one. And the goalkeeper does really well to claim that on first time of asking. Goalie's short, look at him stand next to Ryan. It's a great ball out to the 10. Sowden through the middle, breaks through into Coles, over to number 2. He's going to put it across the box, but way over hit. And Farnham Town come away with the ball with a throw-in. But that's kind of where we are most susceptible to attacks, is on the counter.
Yeah, on the counter and out wide, I think, you know, if teams are clever, they can, and I don't want to give too much away, but, you know, if you can get a 2v1, because we don't have that natural width in front of the full-back, so you can find yourselves 2v1.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's something that we work on, and who goes out at what time. See Darryl here now having to press out wide.
And Alton have started quite well here, nice and composed. And drill it wide, and that's going to go over the head nicely into the 9. He's done well, got past Tom Smith, and this is Coles with an opportunity to get the ball towards the goal, and it's well dealt with in the end by Tom Smith. But Farnham under a bit of pressure on this near side to us, Guy Hollis.
Yeah, I think, you know, Tom maybe could have been a bit tighter there. Bit too easy to sort of take the ball down from a goal kick, should be challenged. But yeah, look, they've shown signs already that they can go forward, Alton. So yeah, it's going to be
and they've got some big lads from the back coming forward. Sowden over the corner, and it's in, and it's a really good header by Lamar Karoma, but it's come out to number 14, who plays it back in, and Pat Nash does really well to gather it and plays it quickly out to Flatman, who gets the ball to Dean, who wins it again and finds himself running towards the corner, but it's out for an Alton throw-in. He's very good in the 50-50, Owen Dean.
Yeah, he's really good. Yeah, I mean, he come on and, you know, won that pen Saturday. I mentioned it already, but yeah, he's the one that flies into a tackle. Never
Saw
gives
that problem
anything
as well, right?
Yeah, never gives. Yeah, exactly,
minutes.
with the first goal. Never gives anything up, which is, you know, it's good. It breeds that around the team, fires people up.
Jack Dean with the throw into Sanders, who loses the ball in midfield. And Alton looking to go wide to that 10. Cooksey. Poor pass, but finds its way to Tom Smith. And Farnham needs to settle themselves down and start working the ball. Karoma. Out wide to Jack Dean on the far side. And this is where patience
Got an overload out on the left.
needs to...
We can see it. No. You can find Tom Smith early, he could be in down the left.
Comes inside, and really nice from Lewis Flatman across his body into Tom Smith. Can he get a ball across? He can, but there's no player attacking the back post, and goes straight out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you could just see him, Tom in space down on the left there. He can keep finding him. I don't know if the 10's going to track defensively.
It was a nice little flick from Flatty.
Yeah, nice little touch there, Flatty.
And not a bad ball in from Smith, but...
Flatty's got his chance today as well, starting, so
yep.
You know, hopefully he gets a couple of goals.
The only thing I find with these two when they play up front is because Dino's so used to playing wide right,
yeah,
he drifts so far away from the other striker.
Yeah, and you see it there, the ball goes in and we haven't got the man for
Absolutely.
Getting the end of the cross.
Coles with a huge amount of time and space to turn, and Meaton does well to get the ball and out to Meaton, to Owen Dean. He can't quite get it under control, and the ball stayed in. And Alton have the ball again, and Meaton's done well to win it one more time into Karoma this time. That's a very, very poor pass.
Sloppy pass.
Farnham need to just build their way into this game and find some rhythm.
Yeah, I think Alton definitely settled
Yeah.
a bit better on the ball going forward.
They've been much more direct, haven't they,
Yeah.
coming down this right-hand side. Well defended by Jack Dean and turned away, and the goalkeeper's going to see that all the way into his box and play it quickly wide. Tom Smith's done really well, and that is a Farnham throw-in. Cooksley, nice touch to turn and play out to Jack Dean. Farnham will want a bit of possession, but instead goes towards Jackson, does well. Owen Dean jinks inside and wins a Farnham corner. Really nicely played. It's a long way away, that corner,
Yeah,
from where we are.
Yeah, it is far away.
We're sat on a shipping container about 20 yards into the Farnham half. So we're quite a long way away from the goal that Farnham are currently shooting at. We're perched with our legs hanging over the edge, the camera behind us, in probably what is the best, most makeshift gantry in the entire combined counties.
The best view in the house.
Ball goes over by Tom Smith, deep towards Jack Dean, who can't get it back across. I always find it funny that our clock enders don't move across in the game.
Yeah.
They're happy to stand behind one goal and be there the whole game.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably, they're so used to it at Farnham having to
Yeah,
stay behind one
right.
goal, but actually they could. I mean, it does look a bit tight over there. But yeah, I think when we get our standing, they can hopefully be encouraged to move to the end that we're shooting at.
100%. How have you enjoyed the early dressing room sort of feeling, the vibe within Farnham in the first sort of 6 to 8 weeks? Like, you've been obviously playing at a higher level. I'm sure you discussed it with Frank on Tuesday, but for people that are watching this game but weren't watching on Tuesday, how's it settled in? New squad?
Yeah, no, it's been good. We had a good pre-season. I think a few of us have played together before or sort of know of each other, a few friends outside of football as well. So yeah, we've managed to gel as a group, you know, really well and probably better than expected, I think, so quickly. But yeah, it's been frustrating for me not being able to impact and, you know, be around it as much. You kind of feel a bit out of touch when you're not playing. Yeah.
And you had a really good pre-season. It was like right at the end when you did the injury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Straight after coming on as a sub as well. So.
Yeah, no, me and Ryan started to build a partnership, and I think the whole back four did. We looked solid.
Yeah. But to be fair to them, you know, and to be fair to Max, who's come in.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Has done an excellent job, and yeah, our first goal was only conceded on Saturday after 525 minutes or something stupid.
Completely agree. I know the boys that have come in have done really well. I've said that as well throughout. We've got the strength and depth to cover each other.
Cooksey loses the ball in the middle of the Alton half, and that's really nice from Sowden, but over hit pass straight through to Pat Nash.
A few years ago, Perry Coles might have given that a run.
How old is Perry Coles now?
Oh, he must be in his 30s, maybe.
Has to be, hasn't he?
Has to be, yeah. He's greying, that's for sure. I can see he's definitely greying.
Still looks, and I'm sure is, instinctive. I know they signed him in because of an injury to Pat Cox, who dropped down a couple of levels to come and play at Alton. I think he's local.
Oh, yeah, I know Pat Cox. Yeah, I know the name.
So, chance here for Alton to get it forward. Again, Lino's not giving it, and there's a chance for the 10 to have a shot if he can. And Pat Nash gets it, but that ball, I mean, looked like it was quite a distance away, and the Lino didn't even have an idea.
Sorry, that was frustrating for me. Even just Lamar should never stop though. You know, you can't really trust officials, especially at this level. You know.
Great header by Joe Jackson, hoiked on towards Flatman, who does well to get it to Sanders. Karoma, Cooksley, and Sanders now in the pocket. Out to Jack Dean. Owen Dean, a few touches, flicks around the corner to Lewis Flatman, tries the back heel probably too much.
Yeah.
And Alton get the ball away, but only as far as Jack Dean. Joe Jackson into Sanders. Jackson moving it nicely now, Farnham, finding some rhythm. Into some space with Canane, out wide to Smith. The 2 is really tight on Smith.
Yeah, I think
plays the ball over the top. Canane probably a bit too low,
yeah,
and
I
runs
think
out for
Nathan
a
mentioned the 2. Said he's a young lad, but really likes him, gets up and down. For a young lad, looks quite promising.
Yeah, we've said it a couple of times already, and that chance exacerbated it. There's definitely an intent from Alton to attack from the right-hand side.
Yeah, definitely. I think they look strongest down this side, like you said, with the 10. Looks powerful. Could give Thompson problems.
The size difference between Ryan and Perry Coles is quite incredible. Lamar with a really good header. Jackson gets it to Sanders. Nice touch from Karoma. Flatty. Cooksey finds Jack Dean, encourages him to get forward. And he does.
Yeah, it's nice play in tight area there.
Ball comes across and well dealt with by Alton. And they find themselves with the ball at halfway. Coles.
Oh, he could be in trouble. No, Ryan, well done.
Canane. Back to Nash, and Nash deals with it nicely and comfortably to Meaton. Jackson.
Yeah, I think it's
Cooksley.
interesting to see Pat settled. You know, there was obviously a mistake on Saturday, a bit of a mix-up between Pat coming out but yeah, Pat looks settled again, composed, which is good.
Meaton drives forward. Nice touch from Flatman. And a really, really smart piece of switching play towards Tom Smith, who makes a nice first touch and gets the ball across
the... by Flatty there, nearly.
The right idea, and Farnham is starting to find the groove, and Alton lash it away.
Yeah, Flatty done well. He's got that quality, hasn't he, to have a little touch and switch play.
Canane with a quick throw to Meaton. Right idea from Jackson, but not on the same wavelength as Owen Dean on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you're right. Owen Dean does seem to hang out wide when he is.
It's like such a massive gap between Flatty and Dean.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to play that link-up play, and especially when you're like, that's Flatty's game. Hold, link up, and then try and get the second ball and shoot from distance.
So we do. With the formation, we do set up like this though, so our forwards have to sit in between the centre half and the fullback to try and cut out from goal kicks. But then obviously if we win the ball back quickly, you find our 2 forwards are so split.
Yeah.
So it's almost that transition they've got to bring themselves in once we win that ball back straight away.
Chance with Jack Dean out of possession for Rob Carr to take Max Meaton on, but Max Meaton does really, really well and shuffles it out of play. It's getting hot here on the top of this sea container, as my co-commentator requests a beer.
Just a pint, craft. Yeah.
Flatman, really nicely done inside. Karoma with a bit of time. Plays it to Cooksley. Round the corner into some space for right back Jack Dean to get forward. And this is where Farnham do find their width. Jack Dean. Great touch by Jackson. Can't quite get into his path, but Karoma shoots just wide.
It's getting hot up on the...
It is. This reflects. This metal reflects. Reflects the heat.
Hot on the shipping container.
Alton happy to go short with a goal kick. And wide to Rob Carr, and that's a really good interception by Jack Dean. But Rob Carr's managed to get himself back, and it's a foul on Harry Cooks. He kind of tumbled over him.
Is that Adam New playing at the back as well, is it?
I don't think it is. He was named on the bench, so if it is,
on the bench?
then it would have been a late swap.
He's playing on the left side, does it? I think it might be.
10 with a bit of space. Ball goes forward and well dealt with by Jack Dean, and now a chance for Farnham to get the ball forward. Owen Dean down that right flank, a long way away from us in the shipping container. Nicely into Joe Jackson. Can he find a pass? He can, into Daryl Sanders, who turns on the ball beautifully. Jinks inside, can he shoot? He can, straight towards the bottom corner, but not really with a lot of power. Really nicely played on the edge of the box between Jackson and Sanders.
Yeah, on target, just no power there. So this is where you've got a 2v1. If the lad brings it.
Coles into the 10, and Max Meaton deals with it really well into the feet of Lewis Flatman. And as does Tom Swift, really smartly done across to Canane, and Farnham get themselves out of danger with consummate ease. Sanders drops deep, bounces it off, and that's poor, but
Cooksey with a lovely ball there.
Cooksey with an inch-perfect ball out to Lewis Flatman, who protects the ball really well. And turns inside and has some space. Does look to shoot. It's not a bad effort from we had the perfect view, as would you on the camera, and that wasn't a bad effort. He will score a couple from distance this season.
Yep. Yeah. No, obviously got a few last year from various places around the halfway line. But yeah, no, he done well to turn there. Saw the 10 wasn't going to put any pressure on him and got a shot off.
What I would say about this Alton 10, who's very dangerous going forward, strong, quick, is that he doesn't want to track back, and that's going to be an opportunity for Tom Smith, if he can get forward, to exploit that. But then we've got to be careful on the counter-attack.
No, for sure. And look, that's we call that cheating in the game. Wants to just do it one way. You can come unstuck if you have a player in your team that doesn't track, but then equally, they can be dangerous because they leave the man up, like you say, a counter.
Done really well. But Alton come away with the ball with Joe Sowden. Finally need to get back into form of shape. This is the 10, who's shrugged off Sanders, and Karoma's done well to get the ball.
Tackle, ref let him play go there.
Sanders into Cooksey, and Farnham will go out the other way towards Jack Dean. Ball goes long, but again to nobody. Farnham look much better, but it's blocked nicely by Owen Dean into Sanders. Farnham winning the ball back higher up. Ball goes across the pitch, really nicely into space for Tom Smith, like we just discussed. And the 2 did really well to force him back, and Farnham will rebuild. Canane. Probably a bit too nonchalant from Smith. And Farnham lose the ball. But win it back again with Joe Jackson.
Lamar tripping there.
Jackson into, Flatman tried to take it round the corner, and
I think with the formation you can see there, because we've got the 4-2-2-2, we've got a lot of players central, so Lamar obviously tripping on the ball there, but immediately we've already got another player around him.
And this is a good chance for Jack Dean on the overlap, into his brother Owen Dean on the edge of the box, into Joe Jackson on the edge, but is it going to spin out? It is, into Tom Smith, who shoots! The right strike, no, but that was a good chance. And Farnham beginning to find a bit of form going forward. Grown into the game.
What about Shoe on the other foot then, Harry? How have you found this season so far? What's your ambitions?
I think it's been, look, it's as good as you could ask, really. 6 wins from 6, a lot of convincing performances. I think the frustration for us as fans has been, we haven't scored more goals, we haven't put someone to the sword. And I think that's a really easy thing to say when you're winning 4-0, right? But I think there's been a couple of instances where you're like, I just wish we'd come away with a 6-7 up.
Yeah.
And we know we've got the talent to do it, which is why I think it's even a bit more frustrating.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we've not really let teams into games yet this season, and if we can keep that up, then it would be great. Ambition, there's no hiding from the fact we want to go up this season. We want to win the league. And we're trying to build a squad that can do that and back the manager to do that. As Farnham lose the ball.
At least we look after our players.
And then the vase is obviously the icing on the cake.
Yes.
Certainly no expectations. I know lots of people have made it out as if Farnham are favourites for the vase, and it's just not as easy as that in cup football, especially a cup that goes straight to penalties after 90 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, cup football's a lottery. If you have one bad game, in a league you've got 38 games to make it up, but cup football, you have one bad game, you're out.
So from my perspective, it would be lovely to get a good run in the vase, and if we can go as far as we can, that would be great. Same in the FA Cup, we're 2 rounds through.
Yeah.
I think for me, it would be good to It would be good to make club history in every cup we play in. So in the FA Cup, we need to win 2 more games. We make club history.
Yeah.
As Sanders spins his man and drives into the box and dinks it over the top. There's got to be a player that needs to gamble there, but it does go out for a corner. Farnham starting to knock on the door.
Yeah, I think Owen Dean just slipped there when the ball came in, allowing his man to get the header. But yeah, just going back to your point, I can't remember what game it was where we were 3-0 up at half time. And then only went on to win 4-0. Which game was that?
Well, Cobham we were 2-0 up and we should have scored way more. 3-0, God.
It's testing.
Crowborough? No, we're 2-0.
No.
Ball comes in, it's at the feet of Ryan Kinane, but the goalkeeper does really well to jump on it.
I think it was the first league game maybe?
Sandhurst.
No,
we were 1-0 up at half time for Sandhurst. That was the one that was frustrating.
What's the first game?
First game was Balham away. But I don't think we were 3-0 up. Really nicely tackled by Lamar Karoma. Ball goes inside and the flag stays down, and it's with Daryl Sanders on the far side. It looks to turn, and that's a corner ball.
Yeah, it was the first FA Cup game when we
yes, you're right. Yeah. Harefield away.
I remember speaking and as a player watching, going in at 3-0, I said to someone, we're only going to win this 4-0 because you go in, you think the game's won, and we ended up going to win 4-0 because you think the game's done at that point. And I think I've said this a few times in interviews. I want us to get into a mentality where the scoreline doesn't affect our performance.
Sanders gets the ball in, and it's well cleared by Alton, but Farnham will rebuild an attack with Karoma. Sanders back into the danger area, but nobody really following in other than Kinane, who is going to be running with his recovery runs here back into position.
Yeah, I think once we find that rhythm, that's when you get the travelling, by the way.
Well done, Max did really, really well there.
Well done. Hey, ref late there, ref. Got a bit of yellow there.
Was a classic yellow card.
Classic Perry Cole's tackle that. Loves to leave a foot in late.
He knows it as well, doesn't he?
Know it, yeah,
he knows it. He's going to get away with this one as well.
Yeah, he will.
Referee having a word with Coles, the 9, and brought the captain, all the way out from centre-back to have about 2 words with him and sent him back. That's probably his last warning.
Yeah, Perry's a niggly little player and does like to leave a little late challenge on the defenders.
Yeah, it was a classic striker's tackle.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. To be fair. A bit of bite is always good.
Poor from Smith. And not a great touch from Kinane either. And Pat Nash, who is very good with his feet, gets it wide to Max Meaton.
But good that we are trying to play football, which I think is nice.
Goes short to Sanders, who flicks up the pocket and round the corner into Jack Dean, who tries to find Owen Dean and can't quite get the connection. And Alton have the ball back now with their goalkeeper.
A few glimpses of us playing well, but really fully settled for a period of time yet.
And that is a Farnham ball. Lamar's really grown into this game nicely in the last sort of 5 minutes.
Getting around the pitch.
That's where he's most effective, breaking down those.
One or two nice patterns, but we've not had a sustained period of, I'd say, good pressure.
Well, that's a poor pass from Harry Cooksey, and this is chance for Alton to break, and Jackson covers Cooksey. Again, Lamar wins the ball back, but out for an Alton throw-in. That was wasteful from Cooksey in the middle. He's given a foul. Interesting. Right, well, they play the same pass anyway. And they are looking for this switch from the centre-back into this 10 across between centre-back and left-back. But they'll go out the other way. And Jack Dean will win that header all day long.
Great in the air, Jack, and his brother, both of them.
Sanders into Owen Dean. Can he get it out of his feet? He can. He's into the box. Back to goal. Does well. Can he get a shot away? Now needs to offload it. Does really well. Karoma into Joe Jackson. Jackson jinks inside and finds Cooksey.
Can get across. Can we work across?
It's chipped up and no real pace. Sanders has gone across the other side of the pitch to pick up the ball. Tom Smith, chance with the ball in. That's a really, really poor ball in, given the circumstances. And Cooksey into Flamman.
Yeah, I think
Alton get it away.
Again,
Still,
another thing that I probably am critical of is the quality of crosses at times. You know, hitting the first man.
Yeah.
Not really getting it to the areas where the strikers are sort of waiting at the back post.
Yeah, we haven't really created a great chance so far.
See Tom here with the overload, with Dazza in that pocket.
That's another poor pass. And Lamar, again, starting to deal with that 10 really nicely.
Yeah, mopping it up. He's good at that, I think.
Jackson does well into Karoma. Now finds Owen Dean.
Flatty done well there again.
Sorry, yeah, Flatty. Into Daryl Sanders, and Tom Smith's cut inside. Over to Cooksey with a bit of space and time, and he does go to shoot, and it's blocked. And Farnham need to rebuild again. Joe Jackson.
Good 30 yards out there.
That's a very, very poor decision.
Ready. Don't think he really needs to wind up there 30 yards out.
Is that a bit of the frustration that we were talking about at the start of the game, where Farnham, you know, if they're patient and do the good things, they break them down?
So, and I think everyone wants to try and impact the game, where I think actually just having a bit more patience and impacting the game as a team, we're far more effective.
That's a foul on Harry Cooksey, as the Alton player thinks he got the ball, but I think the best way of putting it would be he kicked Cooksey's foot and went straight through. And with Cooksey still on the floor, Canane takes the free kick. And Farnham find Sanders on the near side, does really, really well. And here's Tom Smith with a chance to get into the box. Can he get it back to Sanders? He can. Shoots! Oh, just over. Really, really good chance.
Yeah, Dazza sometimes opts to bend those into the far corner there, but he's gone for a strike. Just over.
I feel like Farnham, in those positions, so often we're trying to find the top corner.
Yeah.
And on 4G, you can just rattle it across the floor.
Just drive it, yeah. Just drive it. Can take a little deflection, find its way into the net.
Well, Farnham have been good for the last sort of 15 minutes. It's been frustrating and probably need to be a bit more patient in midfield, but starting to get there.
Yeah, Alton haven't really had a chance like they did in the early stages. They Perry up here now, holding the ball up well.
Coles against Canane, and Canane has gobbled him up all day long. And gets it forward, but only as far as an Alton defender. Alton are incredibly deep, aren't they? All four of their defenders incredibly deep.
Yeah, trying to make the pitch big.
Jack Dean gets it forward to Owen Dean with a touch.
That's that passion that we talk about.
Really, really good tackle, but Alton come away with the ball as the sun goes in again for the third or fourth time in the opening 20 minutes, and that's a poor
Jackson
touch.
Pushing pressure.
And that's why Jackson's playing there. Oh, that's a really, really smart touch.
Get out there.
And that is a poor pass given the circumstances. I'm putting my jacket back on.
It's getting cold now.
How many minutes played? What's the time on the clock? The time is about 30 minutes played. Karoma needs to get rid of this. Pardon?
We don't want any lightning to come over.
No, we are in the worst position. You're not going to be moving fast by any means. Meaton goes cross field really nicely to Smith, and that's where Farnham will stretch the pitch.
Jack Dean on the far side now as well.
Canane, yeah, that's he almost plays as a winger, doesn't he? His engine is unbelievable,
Yeah,
that thing,
no,
up and down the pitch.
Great engine. Tom as well, up and down all game.
Yeah, Cooksey.
If we can
Jackson.
find him out here, if we can get his head up. Flatty, go on.
Flatty's done really well there.
Again. Flatty's done well, I think, so far. Lovely.
Really nice. Tom Smith. Great ball across the goal. Oh, it's just another one where Farnham Town gamble probably sees a shot on goal, but Alton's starting to panic, especially down this near side.
Yeah, and I think Tom's finding himself in space. Flatty, you have to give credit so far, you know, linking up the play and playing the ball out. Holding it up well today. He's had a good half so far.
Farnham again happy to work the ball across the back, all the way across from Meaton to Jack Dean. Cooksey. Meaton. And this is where patience has to pay off. As Cooksey gets the ball, Jackson's dropped a lot deeper.
So we can work it out.
And that's perfect. That's where you want to see him. Daryl Sanders with a bit of time and space gets the ball across the face of goal. Right idea. Again, no Farnham player getting in front of his man, and here is where the man is over. And this is an opportunity for Rob Carr on this far side.
It's outside though, definitely outside.
Outside the box, and it is a foul. Shoulder to shoulder.
Ryan just sold himself a bit there going in. He could have probably stood off a bit.
Interesting that Rob Carr has come across to this near side, and that number 10, who started really well on this near side, has gone onto the far side, but he didn't join that attack at all.
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup if he goes over to Jack Dean's side, I think.
Perry Cole's over the ball, and Alton have only committed very few players in the grand scheme of things. They've left one on the edge of the box.
Probably going to look to just drive this towards goal.
Yeah. Man on the edge of the box, though, is Joe Sowden, if they can find him in a bit of space to shoot. But Karoma's gone out to...
I'd probably put a lefty on this and just whip it right round.
Towards the back stick.
Yeah.
We've got a great view of this. Number 9, Perry Coles. He does drive it across, and Tom Smith does really well to get rid of that. And that's looked like handball. Nothing given. He has given it. Really good refereeing, considering his position.
How's he seen that?
The linesman, that's a very, very good decision.
Did the liner help him there?
No.
No. Referee done really well there to see that.
No denying that Sowden needed his hands in order to control that ball.
I'm going to have to put my jumper back on there.
Jackson. Canane. Farnham, Oral, and neither really have had a good chance where you'd think they should come away with a goal, but Farnham definitely dominated the last half an hour or so as the ball goes forward, and it's now into Jack Dean. Out wide to Cooksey. Jinks inside. Goes over the top, and there's an opportunity at the back post for Daryl Sanders, who can't quite get over it. Probably not the man you want at the back stick trying to head it in.
Would have loved Owen Dean at the back there, or even Flatty.
But again, Farnham Town finding a bit of joy in the wide areas.
Lots of beers flying around the stadium. People having a good time on this bank holiday Monday.
Yeah, that's why they do it. The step 5. 11:30 kickoff, so people can go to Isthmian games at 3 o'clock, and you'll see that's a really nice turn, and there's opportunity for the 9 to...
You decided if you're going to come to the Walton game?
I think I'm going to go to Badshot Lee down the road against Ascot, but Walton's still in my thinking. I think it'll be a better game, Walton versus Bracknell, but the proximity to here for Badshot League and knowing a lot more of the people there makes me interested. I know you obviously know a lot of people at Walton and Bracknell.
And Bracknell, yeah, Bracknell, my old club. Good to go back and see a few of the guys.
Both teams have started really well this season.
Yeah, both have. Walton play some good football.
Rob Carr.
A couple of people have actually mentioned Walton when talking about us, saying they reminded them of how Walton played when they were at this level.
Max Meaton does really well to win that. Jackson flicks over the top into Owen Dean can't quite get it, but the tenacity wins it back, and now it's with Joe Jackson. And it just can't get it into the feet of Daryl Sanders.
Here we go. He's off.
Max Meaton.
Great
looks like he got the tackle, and he did. It's a really, really good tackle.
Well,
and if Jack Dean can keep that ball in, which he will, that is about as good as you can ask for from Max Meaton, who knew he was done for pace if he got past him.
He had the last-ditch tackle there, and he won the ball, and the referee's done well to let it go again. That's a push, is it?
Soft.
yeah, I think Max has done really well when asked, you know, this season to step up. Obviously been injured, he's been really top draw at the back.
Flano. Ball goes wide into Rob Carr. He is going to keep this in. And Tom Smith goes past him. Canane goes long and wide to Owen Dean, who wins the header, and it's in towards Lewis Flatman, who will try and chase it down, but actually been shepherded really nicely towards the goalkeeper. Classic derby game so far.
Yes.
Not a lot given from either side. I thought the referees had a very good half so far.
Yeah, a couple of the boys at the top with us, not playing today, so it'd be good to get this win. Still early days, but a couple of bigger sides of the league that we thought, you know, dropped some points already, so
Yeah,
don't want to fall into that.
Good turn from Owen Dean, looks to win it.
Typical Owen Dean tackle there.
I'm not sure really what they can complain about. It's a foul, but
Yeah,
nothing more than that. Very disappointed if he gets booked for that.
If he gets booked and he's not booked Perry up here.
Ryan Canane requested to come forward. We talked about it earlier.
It's going to make him walk
all the way down
30 yards just to say he's on his last warning, I think. Pointless.
It was just one of those, right? He was trying to block it, trying to win the tackle, and yeah, he's not even caught him.
Yeah.
But like I said, to be fair, the referee did it for Alton.
He did do it, yeah.
All you want is a bit of consistency, and we got it there.
Yeah,
a few fans behind the gates there, watching for free.
Yeah.
Couldn't spare the £8 to support their local club. And Alton will restart the game from the middle of their own half with the goalkeeper. And it goes along towards Canane, who wins the header over, and it will bounce. Will it bounce in favour of Sanders? It won't. And the number 2, who's been really good all game, does well there. Canane looks forward to Owen Dean, but it's poor and...
There's not much on there, is there? And at
Farnham
times like that, I think we could just go back to Pat.
Farnham have been quite flat for the last...
Cycle the ball.
And Karoma concedes a foul, and there's been a bit of a swing in momentum.
Yeah, it's just gone a bit flat, I think, as we come towards half-time.
Will Alton look to take this quickly? They will, and they'll look wide. First time they've kind of got forward with this left back, and he's done really well to get past Jackson.
Get past Jackson there. And Kurt's not good enough.
2 players, but it just whistles through to Pat Nash, a man who hasn't really had to do anything himself.
See, Nash, he could roll Ryan there, I would.
Instead, he rolls to Max Meaton in acres of space, who tries to force it.
I think the way we were set up there, you've obviously got Lamar, Tom and Daz out here. We're probably coming out to the left was the right option there. Flatty does well
Really
again.
nice from Flatty, and now Jack Dean on the far side, and he's taken out. It's a good tackle, and it's been given a corner.
Yeah, been impressed with Flatty, I think, coming back into the team
been
today.
really
He's been really good. Hold-up play. Forwards are obviously judged on their goals, but you know he's probably been our standout player on the pitch today with his link-up.
Chance for Farnham to get the ball in the box. Interesting that Alton leave 2 men up front. Sanders on the edge of the box, totally unmarked. Ball goes in, and it's a poor ball again, and he is going to get another opportunity to put it in. Delivery needs to be better.
Yeah. Not a bad little setup over here, though.
I like it here.
Yeah, it's nice.
Another poor ball from Smith. And he's going to get one more time of asking, but he's going to go short this time. And he's done really nicely. Harry Cooksey. This is a much better ball. Oh, looked like it was pushed to the back as he jumped, but it comes away. And Alton with an opportunity to break here. they go long towards this number 10, who flicks it on, potentially to himself here. And Pat Nash actually does really, really well there. That was
got out of trouble there. One man.
Unorthodox.
One man giving 4 defenders their problem. I think that's where they'll cause us problems. I think it's going to be through the 10, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've not seen him play for 90 minutes.
Okay, that's
for Alton. He either comes on. That's a very sloppy piece of play from Farnham in the middle. We've not been at their best today, and
2 games in 3 days. Although he's made some changes, I think a few of the boys have done 90 though.
Karoma. And Farnham will move it across the back with Meaton, who comes inside and looks to force it, and Farnham concede a free kick.
I think that sounded worse than it actually was there. Max.
What have you made of the first half? It's been a bit of nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we've really had a sustained period being on top. It's a local derby, 2 games in 3 days. Yeah, it's ebbed and flowed, I think, and that's pretty much it. Nothing really. Flatty's probably been our standout player so far, linking it nicely.
Ball goes long, and Jack Dean does very well and intelligently lets the ball go out of play.
I don't think anyone's really had a great chance. I think Daz has had that one soft shot on target, and that's pretty much been it, isn't it?
And that's poor from Canane.
Any scores around the...
I'm just having a look. 0-0 at Tooting. 0-0 at Camberley. Not sure if that's the same game. Oh no, that's Camberley Fleet. Napilla 1-0 up against Shearwater. It's Hawley Tooting, and that's 0-0. Not a huge amount of goals around the grounds.
Little kick there.
And Joe Sowden is going to go into the book for that.
Referee's done well there to see the little kick.
Well, it's just kicked off. I think they're the only games that have kicked off. No.
Ref's done well.
I think Ref's had a really, really good half.
Yeah, he has. He's done really well. Been consistent. Seen that little kick there. Given a card for it. Rightly so. Probably go straight across to Max, could we? Don't need that extra pass.
Out to Meaton. Farnham with probably 5 minutes before half time, and goes long. That's been wasteful all game. No real need for Farnham to go long, and that's really poor.
Ryan has to make the tackle. Well done.
Lamar does really well. Clever. Takes Farnham out of
yeah, I think just
a bit
wasteful.
of pressure.
That ball forward just sometimes wasteful and not needed, and
just doesn't.
Especially if we haven't got Shams.
That's a good ball. That's a really good ball.
This time.
2 of them. This is Owen.
Yeah, I don't think we've naturally got that running in behind without Shams there, but we're still trying to go forward with that longer ball, and it's not really been effective at all, I don't think, today.
I agree. Yeah, no focal point with no Charlie, and no runner in behind with no Shams.
No, I think we're actually playing better football when we get the ball to Flatty's feet, and then he links it up and we come out wide and we get across, and I think that's what we need to focus on a bit more.
Flatty to Tom Smith on this left-hand side has been the link-up that we've seen the most benefit from. 200 people watching us live here in just what has just turned the afternoon on Bank Holiday Monday at Alton. Ball goes, tries to go across. Is he going to go out for a corner? It's going to skill up, and the goalkeeper smartly off his line to stop a corner. And Canane still goes forward. The last long throw by Flatman was a good one. Flatman with a shorter one. Flicked on.
Good flick.
Towards the goalkeeper. Again, no one running across the goalkeeper. Farnham drew 1-1 here last year.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can improve on that this time round.
Tom Smith, a really good header. Helped on by Sowden.
No
Smithy the wrong side of him. And that's going to go out for a Alton goal. Oh, Alton corner, sorry.
Good luck tonight, mate. Good luck.
Who've you got?
Some teeth on them in there.
Liam Flanagan below us, just he's playing for Chertsey this year. Actually scored in both Alton games for us last season. Chance for Ryan to get it clear. More up than out. Towards the edge of the box, and here is that number 10, the leggy 10.
It's good to see we've ironed out the issues in pre-season of conceding from set pieces.
Yeah, we look much more comfortable. But 10, yeah. Sanders has done really well there. That's again, Farnham forwards on their heels when the ball's won back. Brilliantly won by Sanders. Now it's flicked through to Lewis Flatman, who wins the ball and drives into the Alton box. Someone's
dropped their phone.
Flatman deep towards Dean. I think it was Flatty's. No, it's a defender's shin pad. And that is half time for what has been quite a flat first half of football.
Yeah.
A morning half of football, I'd say.
Yes, yeah, I think a few players still asleep. Maybe had a few drinks over the bank holiday weekend, who knows?
What would you be changing? If you were the manager here, what would you be changing?
I think for me, the long ball, and I've said it so many times this season, we don't always need to go long, especially when we haven't got the right players on the pitch to be doing it.
Yeah.
We've been most effective when we're getting the ball to Flatty's feet, playing it out wide, getting those crosses in. If we can improve the crosses and get people on the end of them in the box, I think
we just
we'll do
seem
all
to be don't seem to be like challenging for the ball when it's come through to the goalkeeper quite easily a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's had real quality in the final third.
One or two pop shots, one from Lewis Flatman early, and then Sanders probably had what you'd constitute maybe the best chance of the game where he jinked inside, but he made it himself.
Yeah.
Commotion below us.
Coming off.
Commotion below us as people want to get to the bar.
Yeah.
I think the referee's been very good.
Yeah, ref's been good, consistent. Calls to sack the manager because we're 0-0 at half time.
Our first time we've gone into half time, no, because we went in 0-0 at Saturday, didn't we?
Yeah.
Went in 0-0 at Saturday. It's the first league game that we've gone in 0-0.
Yeah, hoping to see a lot more. I mean, yeah, it's not been the best.
Let's check the half time scores around the ground. There was very few. Yeah, we'll stay on. Stay on. You don't have to keep talking. I can talk to myself if you want.
Okay, mate. I don't mind. Just wondered.
So half time, obviously here, Alton 0, Farnham 0. Still half time at Hawley against Tooting and Mitcham 0-0. Camberley Fleet, no updates since it was 0-0, so expecting that to be the same. And they look like the only three. And Nap Hill are winning 1-0 at home against Shearwater. From what looks like from the photos, an own goal, but I'm unsure. So only one goal in the entirety. It was an own goal in the entirety of the combined counties this morning, and it was an own goal. Yeah. So limited quality for morning kickoffs.
Yeah. Everyone's struggling from the. Everyone's struggling from the bank holiday.
Yeah, and 2 games in 2 days is tough. Like, how many times do you have to do that as a higher?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, look, 2 games in 2 days at any level is tough. But yeah, I think people might have had a night out on a Saturday, heavy-legged. Potentially someone might have had a night out on the Sunday. Hopefully not our boys. But
I think, but it doesn't really seem like we don't seem lethargic. We just seem like we're just trying to force it a bit too much, which I think will be the instruction from Jono at half time. Is
I think so. Yeah.
Just be patient, because when we are patient, we're opening them up.
Yeah.
Like round the corner into that left back position.
We've got this thing in our head where we have to impact the game quickly, otherwise, I don't know if it's nerves or what, the expectations of people, but we're not going to win every game, like you say, 5-6, 4-0. But we can win games 1-0, but do it properly. Don't just scrap and play our football, which I think when we've done it, we've been good and we've looked good, and that's been when we've been effective.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's interesting. Probably the first time we've seen Joe Jackson in that more advanced role. Probably doesn't give you as much going forward, but definitely wins the ball back higher up for us.
Yeah, I think with Lamar and Joe in there, we've got the legs and the tenacity to go and win a tackle.
But you do lose out in terms of Dean Rule,
lose
Rick.
a bit of quality where you might have like a Rick or a Dean Rule picking the ball up in the areas going forward.
When would you look to make your first change? Are you a man who likes a 60-minute change? You like?
I mean, to be honest, in the team that we've got this year, I think the changes add a bit of impetus. So I'm not adverse to making a change at
half-time,
55, 60 minutes, even half-time, because we've got a squad of players that every player could be in the starting 11.
Yep.
And actually, that's a plus. Sometimes you have a few youngsters or periphery players that might get a few minutes on occasion. You bring them on in the last few minutes maybe to kill a game off. But we've got a team of starters that actually, if we wanted to just change it up now and say if we are going to be going long, we'll bring Chaz on.
If we're going to go long, we've put a lot of balls into the box. Maybe it's an opportunity to get Charlie on, who I'm sure scored here last season because he scored most places last season.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably be saying, look, we've been effective when we're playing the ball into Flatty on the floor.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go out and do that next 10-15. If not, if we're going to be adamant and that we're going to kick the ball longer, maybe make the changes to bring Charlie on and Shams with a bit of pacing behind.
So then would your first change be someone like Rick or Dean Rule in order to kind of like push the play? Because we are when we keep the ball, we look great. Yeah. So like put more players in the pocket that can play the football quickly. Yeah, probably would be an obvious change. Bring Ruley on. I think Flatty's done well, so you probably wouldn't lose him. No. And
then maybe a Shams for an Owen Dean later on.
But you could always take off Jackson or Lamar, move one of them, and then you can move Jackson back, or you could,
Yeah, I think the obvious choice would be to get Ruley into that pocket.
Linking up with Daz.
Yeah, I think so. Daz, Flatty, Owen as well. We're stripping down again.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the setup here. It's busy. I'd say they're doing 250 plus here easily, plus a few people behind the barriers watching for free. And hopefully lots of these people will go and watch another game after this, but just flat, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're so much better. Yeah. It's not good enough, really. We've dropped our level to
Yeah, we've had glimpses where we've played football.
So yeah, there's probably about 250 people here, and they'll all come out to see in the sunshine some nice bank holiday football, and there's an opportunity to go for a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Fans discussing below that Farnham probably dropped their level a bit to Alton's and not really tested the goalkeeper. I mean, neither goalkeeper has really had to make a save so far this half. So it'll be interesting to see the substitutions made in the second half, but Farnham will really need to move with a bit more tenacity and move the ball through that middle or get it wide quicker, because that's going to be the difference, as we saw in the first half when Farnham did create chances. It was in those areas.
We look like Man City without Haaland. When they try to play without a centre forward. You've got a lot of creativity and a lot of passing.
But fans will want to see more action in the second half, more shots on goal at least, and hopefully some goals before they get home for their bank holiday lunch. We are 6 games unbeaten so far this season. 3 in the league, 3 in the cups, one which was in the Vars on Saturday. And we are currently 0-0 at half-time here at Alton, our local rivals. And the leagues try and put local derbies on Bank Holiday Monday in order to limit travel and try and increase attendances, and this has worked very nicely for Alton, which is great. Farnham with a lot of options off the bench if they need to. We discussed it just then, but we have Shamal Edwards, Charlie Postance, Kai Tanner, Matty Sermon. No, not Matty Sermon, he didn't make the squad. Rick Ruellard. And Dean Rule. So plenty of options off the bench if Farnham want to use them early. Don't forget it's 5 substitutions at this level. So you can make nearly half the team change around. A bit of a mother's meeting below me with Guy taking taking the lead, chairing the meeting about sort of Farnham not playing the intensity we've seen them over the last 6 or 7 games at the end of pre-season and into the season. But Farnham will still be going in thinking they are the favourites to win this game. Alton, although they've caused a bit of problems down the right-hand side, haven't really made any impact towards Pat Nash's goal. No true shots. So a pretty dull first half for a neutral fan, and you'd be pretty happy if you're an Alton fan that you've limited Farnham to very, very limited action. The sun keeps coming in and out. It gets very hot up here very, very quickly. We are sat on the edge of a shipping container. But if you've watched the half so far and you're still tuned in, please let me know what you think the full-time result and score will be.
Any love on the comments?
Bit of love. Someone's watching from Australia, which is mad. Someone loving Farnham Town all the way over on the other side of the world. Good time for them to watch football, actually, isn't it? This kick-off time.
Oh, yeah, evening time, yeah.
Co-commentator gets his second beer. He's gone for San Miguel this time after
Take what I'm giving up here on the crate.
after sampling the local Budweiser.
Important to hydrate on these days when the sun's out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bank
Well,
holiday.
managers are back out. What do you think their message would have been?
I think.
Knowing Jono and Jimmy, what's their message?
Should we ask them? Jono! No,
They don't
ignoring
fancy
us.
it. Yeah, what do you think their message would have been?
Yeah, I mean, I think just as we said, we're getting joy when we're keeping the ball. You know, the way we're set up today with the players, the personnel, we're doing better when we're getting the ball to feet, to Flatty, to work across. The long ball for me isn't really working at all today. You know, if we're going to keep doing it, probably changes could be expected. So yeah, I'd probably say it's down to you guys to go and play that football, impose yourself on the game, you know, for the next 15, 20 minutes. Well, yeah, those changes will come.
Few Farnham players coming out, as are the Alton players. We're going to have a much better view of the Farnham action going forward in this half, with it playing right in front of us. No visible substitutions at half-time for either team.
Subs getting warm with Givo over the far side.
Yeah, so everyone other than Rick Wellard. So you've got Charlie Postance, Dean Rule, Kai Tanner and Shamal Edwards. You know, huge impact players.
Good attacking four there.
Yes.
All 4 of them could play. Going to start in 11. Yeah, we've got a very attacking bench actually. Rick as well.
Yeah.
Not really any defensive cover.
Well, I suppose your defensive cover is
Joe Jackson. I
Joe
think,
Jackson and
probably,
Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar play at full back and Jackson at centre back. Farnham just needs to get back into their rhythm that they found early in this season. Knock it about, take their time. The chances will come as you keep so much of the ball over the course of a game. You know, the tired legs, especially at this level, towards 70, 80 minutes, really start to show, and those are where we've scored quite a few of our goals in the back end of the game.
Yeah,
so
that's it. I mean, you've got, like you said, you can make 3 or 4 subs that are like first team starters coming on to impact the game late on when you've got tired legs. You know, those front boys coming on, playing against defenders that, like you say, have got 80 minutes in their legs.
You're going to create chances as well. Whether or not Farnham Town can finish them and be the goal-scoring force they found themselves at the start of this season. Alton will get us back underway at the start of this second half. 1 yellow card shown in the first half to number 17, Joe Sowden, who is Farnham Town. If you watch Farnham Town over the last 5 years, you'll know that he's played for us a couple of times. Local boy, knows a lot of people in the Farnham Town setup, and left one on Tom Smith, who he's played with many times over the last couple of years. But for Alton, we'll get the ball going again in this second half. 45 minutes for Farnham Town to retain their stature of unbeaten and ideally retain their stature of only wins in the league.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have a D or an L next to this game.
No. But very few goals around the grounds this Bank Holiday Monday. Only goal scored is at Knapp Hill against Shearwater, which was an own goal. So lots of tired legs from the weekend, like we discussed at half-time, where we're back underway as the ball goes forward, and that's a poor touch. Oh, but Canadian's done really well to get it at the second time of asking, and Farnham will build their attack via Lamar Karoma, who loses the ball. And it's a sloppy start so far in midfield, and Farnham will want to just calm it down and rebuild their attacks via their defenders. In comes Max Meaton into a bit of space in front of him and moves it back patiently to Kenane.
See Ryan looking up there, just waiting for an option. There you go. Even Jack Dean calling patience.
And that's what they're going to.
Which is good to hear.
That's what they're going to get. Kenane again on the ball, out to Meaton, and this is where Farnham finds space as they move it quickly across the back, and Cooksey drops into the pocket.
Yeah, something that I always speak to, especially Jim, about as well, the assistant manager. And
really nice from Owen Dean, finds his brother Jack Dean across the box into Jackson, who can't quite get there, but it's much better start from Farnham. Patiently built it up, nice little quick interchange up front, and those are the moves that Farnham Town will want to see.
Definitely a word that we use, you know, talking amongst ourselves, and especially speaking with Jim, patience. You know, we don't need to go and score straight away. Keep that ball, recycle it, wear them down, and we'll get our goals.
Tom Smith takes the throw in quickly. That's towards Sanders, and the ball's going to check up, and just finds its way through to the goalkeeper. Kick goes long to absolutely nobody. Tom Smith with a header. Should have probably brought it down, but Farnham find themselves with the ball with Jack Dean, and that is a very poor pass. There's a man in behind. And Alton are working this ball nicely. And they probably should have done better there. And Harry Cooksey comes away with the ball and does really well to find a bit of space. And this is where, again, Farnham's patience is going to be tested. And there's a huge amount of space here for Tom Smith. Really nice from Kenane. Great touch from Smith to get it out of his feet. 10 tracks back this time. Karoma.
Finding a bit of space early on, which is nice to see.
Patience.
Cookie looks up,
Harry
but then
Cooksey.
opts for a shorter pass, which is good.
Jack Dean into Sanders. Forces Dean on the overlap. And fullback's done really well.
Probably released that pass just a little too early.
Ball gets forward. Cole's done really well and has found a bit of space. Oh, Meaton's done really well to read it. Now needs to find a pass. As he's driving forward. He does on the overlap to Jack Dean, who finds a cross but can't quite get it past the first man. And that's a poor. It was late. He was just on the wrong side of him.
Probably find his way into the book here.
Yeah, it's one of those where he's just trying to win it back. No real malice in the tackle, but probably going to find himself in the book, and he is.
More of a frustration tackle, that, I think. Started well, no. Passed nicely.
Much better start.
So far.
Much better start.
Max Erman admiring the view. The pitch.
He's enjoying the football being played in front of him. So Jack Dean, the first Farnham Town player to go into the book for a tackle very deep into the.
Getting hot again.
That player's managed to have treatment and not go off the pitch.
I think because he's been booked. You can
Is that
stay on the pitch,
the rule?
Yeah.
Good insight. Ball goes long.
If he wasn't booked, he would have had to have.
Lamar Karoma wins the ball and Jackson tries to flick it on. Again, that's probably where we just need someone to hold the ball a bit better. Lamar Karoma with a really good header. Owen Dean tries to force it around the corner. Jack Dean, nicely into Lamar, who gets it to Owen Dean, who tries to forward, but there's an opportunity for Lamar to get it forward. It's a very poor touch from Owen Dean. It was a really nice opportunity, probably the first time they've had a bit of space going down the middle.
Yeah, I think just there, you know, Owen's got probably 2 or 3 white shirts around him. That's probably where he needs to just pass that off. And
great header by Tom Smith. Alton come away with the ball though, in the second time of asking. He shouldn't be allowed that much space. He's done really well, number 10. Found some space on the edge of the box. Perry Coles. And that was looping. That was looping, and it's one of the best chances of the game so far, but it came from absolutely nothing. 10 was given a huge amount of space on that far side, jink past couple,
yeah,
and a pop shot. You see a few of those go in this level.
Yeah, I did see it.
Loop up.
I thought that looped over Pat there. I was head and hands nearly.
Nash, long towards Flatman, who does well and wins the throw. Flatman should drop that ball and let Tom Smith take it, and he does. Into Lamar. Tom Smith out wide really nicely to Max Meaton. That's a really good pass. Jack Dean, tracked well by Alton's Rob Carr, who played in the Farnham Town shirt last season. Sanders, can he find a pass? He can. This is Joe Jackson with a chance to get the ball in the box. He does. There's a man coming in from the other side. It's Tom Smith who gets it across. Oh, Sanders was there, ready to swing a leg at it. But the ball comes out to striker Perry Coles, who's held the ball up really nicely. And Farnham have a chance here to be counted on. And this is where they're dangerous, Alton. 10, he's up there on his own. He's found a nice pass, but it's been covered really nicely, and Jack Dean will get that ball away and find Daryl Sanders, and maybe Farnham can do a counter-attack of their own. Now Lamar Karoma. He's given it.
Go in the book here.
He looked like he got the ball. It's one of those so difficult to give as a referee on the wrong side.
I think if you're breaking in that direction and you challenge like that, you're always going to go into the book. But yeah.
How can you stop, as a Farnham Town team set up like this, how can you stop being counted on so often?
I think it just comes down to organisation, and you know, if you're in the back 4, you know, and you see the fullbacks going, it's important as a centre half to get hold of a Lamar or a Cooksley to make sure we're not over-committing. You know, you've always got to have a cover, have that box in front of you where, you know, you can align. I think Cooks was the furthest man back there, and I can't quite.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see how it built up.
So that's where you can see, if we don't start to get some things right with that counter-attack, that's where the goals are going to come from for opposition teams. Right? It's a chance for Kinane to get the ball back across the goal, and he can't quite do it.
And it comes from concentration as well. You know, you go further into the game.
Jackson does well.
Nervous, and you know, we're chasing.
That's a nice ball over the top, in towards Sanders. Oh, and the goalkeeper does really well. Jackson does well. Nice from Sanders. Now Farnham starting to get a bit of... Oh, that's a really nice touch from Owen Dean through the legs of the defender. Can he stand him up? Tries to get the ball across, and that's a really, really wasteful chance. Farnham need to use those chances a lot better.
Cooksley trying to encourage the boys there, letting them know it's not good enough, which I think, you know...
Just need to hold, in these areas, like, just need to keep the ball there for a bit. Like, giving them the ball back so easily.
Yeah.
Be it through goal kicks, throw-ins, just aimless passes.
Turnover of the ball is happening too often.
We're so dangerous around the box. Just keep it there. Ball goes out yet again from the goalkeeper, whose distribution has been poor so far today. Found the touchline all too many times. Kinane back to Pat Nash. Now to Max Meaton. Loads of bodies forward for Farnham Town, and Meaton goes wide, and that's really poor communication between Smith and Flatman.
So yeah, just as that was building up, that was a was ran himself into a nice little pocket there. But again, we've opted for the long ball and it's been cut out.
It wasn't a bad idea. It was just
No, it
like
wasn't
the
a bad
two
idea.
players who were on the end of it didn't really talk. And now it's with
Can Joe give a better angle there?
Jack Dean. That's
It's
a
just
poor
waste.
pass again. That's where Farnham need to get.
Jack.
But Farnham have had all of the ball, bar 2 counter-attacking chances for Alton so far in this half. It's been all Farnham, as you'd expect. Almost playing as a front 3 now with Dazza up there.
Yeah, we're obviously committing bodies forward now.
As a player getting stripped and ready for Alton. And that's a much more intelligent bit play from Lewis Flatman. It's run out to Tom Smith, who jinks inside. And that's just a poor decision. It's a really, really poor decision. And Canane's come across and uses the ball. And
Great touch there by Tom.
fantastic touch by Tom, keeping the ball in.
Don't know how much
Sanders.
he knew about it.
Sanders, really nice ball. Cooksey,
Oh, there we
goal
go.
to Farnham Town! And he's wanted that one all season to come out to the edge of the box. And he turns on the lawnmower for the 3rd time in 3 consecutive games. Harry Cooksey's on the score sheet. And it was actually really nicely worked, Guy Hollis, down that left-hand side, as we
Yeah.
said all game.
I don't know how much Tom knew about that touch. Stuck a leg out, brings it down on.
He will say in the
on
bar
the
later that he
sixpence,
really
yeah.
meant it.
Dazza does well. It comes out to Cooksey on the edge, and yeah, great strike. You know, he's got that in his locker.
But Cooksey's been waiting for that ball
He
to
has.
come out to the edge of the box all
Yeah.
season.
All season, just
He struck it so pure.
he's got a great strike on him. Yeah, like I say, he's waiting for that to just sit nicely for him across the edge of the box. But yeah, I think just before that though, you could see even the frustration in our voices, the decision making.
Decision making's been poor.
And it has been poor, but yeah, we find a way to break the deadlock. Hopefully, we can settle now.
First good decision. Sanders dribbled across the box, just put it into the pocket where he knew a midfielder would be. And Cooksey's he's hit it down the middle of the goal. But goalkeepers
great
at this
shot.
level, and we were saying earlier, you can zip it across the ground on 4G. And that's what he did.
Goalie looks young.
Farnham
it's a
Town
great
1-0 to the good.
But yeah, hopefully that settles us now, and we can go on and dominate and make good decisions. I think that's
Now we've got a little time, and patience is going to be even more important.
I think as a player, that's all you can ask for. Players making good decisions across the pitch. Don't get frustrated. Don't lose the game plan. Just continue as I said
Great
it before.
touch from Sanders.
Machine-like way of playing. Where we're not affected, and we will eventually get our rewards.
That's a nice pass. And Jack Dean's well out of position here. But Farnham regained the ball, and this is where they just need to calm down. But they played it instead. Tom Smith forward into space to Flatman, who will put the pressure on, hopefully not give away a foul. And now Farnham need to regain some structure. As the keeper kicks long and high. Not sure his defender would have wanted that. And now Owen Dean's got the ball. And he probably goes over a bit too easily, but Joe Jackson does really well to win the ball back.
Joe's done well there. Thought
How
Dino
many
might
more
have
yards
just
is that?
nicked
Absolutely.
Is that a turnover in the rules now? Is that our throw now?
No, he just took it too far up.
It's our throw in my eyes.
Jack Dean with the header. Does that change your substitution? Oh, hold on, whilst we talk about that, Daryl Sanders flicks it into the gap.
Flatty's in.
Flatty! Oh, what a good save that is. What a good save that is, but first time we've driven through the middle.
Yeah, rooting for Flatty there to score. Does well. The goalie's done well to
Really
save
good
that.
Does that change your substitution, that goal? Is that more of a Rick Wellard substitution, try and just tick us over rather than a
I'd probably,
Charlie?
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, we've broken the deadlock. Yeah, I'd want to keep Flatty on. I want Flatty to get a goal. I think he needs a goal.
Ball goes in from a Lewis Fatman throw, and it's again
We've got to
straight
get
to the
that
goalkeeper.
goal.
No one contesting, and Alton will look to break quickly as they have done all game. And
I'd maybe even go a Rawley or a Kai, essentially just some legs, keep the intensity. And I'd maybe even do a Rick for Cooksley. Rick can do that role that Cooksley plays there on the ball.
Cooksey wide. Really nicely
That.
first time towards Flatman. Can he get it in play? He can. Really nice turn.
He's done well again.
He's going to look to shoot. Does! Off the post! I think it took a nick, Guy.
Did that hit the post?
Hit the post.
I thought that went out for a corner.
hit the post. It either hit the post or it hit the wheel, which would have been a corner, but I'm sure it hit the post. Goalkeeper was absolutely stranded.
Flatty does well again, and this is what I mean. I think he's played really well.
Brilliant
today.
turnout on that far side.
He's done really well today.
I think it took a nick, which left the goalkeeper completely flat-footed.
Yeah, it's a great turn.
Sana's now starting to pick up a bit more space. Brilliant again from Flatman into Lamar Karoma, who looks to shoot. Probably unnecessary.
Yeah, Lamar knows his game. He should be passing there.
Right, Jack Dean with a bit of space right in front of us. Oh, it's another poor cross, but the ball bouncing. And Alton again can only do as much as clear their lines for another Farnham Town attack. 200 of you watching along, thank you very much. Try and do these as no one else does in the league. Makes it a bit more interesting if you are in the combined counties to watch along at home. Farnham Town 1-0 up here, and Camberley are 1-0 up away at Fleet. Camberley are 2-0 up away at Fleet as I refresh my feed. 2 minutes after the restart, Camberley 2, Fleet 0. Their first win, I think, would be in the league. Fleet have got off to what you would have expected, really, which is a sort of stop-start to the season. A few good results.
Yeah, I saw a few tweets that Fleet looked...
And there is a substitution. In comes Shams for Owen Dean. Opportunity to stretch the game with Shams now, with Alton needing to chase it.
Yeah, it gives us something different. I mean, Dino can run those channels as well. But I think, you know, Dino gets more involved with the game, whereas Shams will be an out-and-out last man. You know what you're going to get.
Absolutely.
Cause them something to think about.
Absolutely. And it gives you that outball as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
As a defender, you always know you've got someone on the end of it. Perry Cole's here, number 9, who's been very good actually for Alton. Held up the ball really nicely.
Yeah, Perry's done well. He's been up there on his own. But
Pat Nash gets that with ease.
He has held the ball up well at times, Perry, and yeah, it's a difficult role.
He's been on his totally stranded.
Yeah, difficult role that on your own.
He's again done really, really well. Tries to get it down to Shams. Can't get it, and it's a nice touch from Carr into Sowden, and Lamar gets nutmegged. And that's going to run straight out as Alton now trying to force the long ball, and that's not their game.
It's a wasteful ball, that.
They need to be smart, soak up the pressure and counter. Alton yet to make a substitution.
Same as before now as well. You know, we could dictate this game. lost 2, did they?
Yeah, Rains Park lost drop points 4, 5 times.
Yeah, you don't get many chances, and I think there's always one that is
Really
gonna
good from
have
Tom
that
Smith.
Consistency. But already as we've seen, teams have dropped points around the league. I don't know if that's because it's stronger this year or what, but yeah, you don't get many chances.
Chance for Alton to get the ball forward. Pat Nash will be happy to see that one go straight out for a goal kick, and Farnham, like I've said repeatedly over the last sort of 5 minutes, need to just get their foot on the ball and slow things down. Apparently the live's down.
Okay, it's fine now. Okay, cool. All right, cheers, mate. Bye.
You back with us, everybody? Yeah? Yeah, back on live. As Flatman wins the header into Sanders. Sanders on the far side, it's a little step over. And wins the... Thought he'd win the corner, but instead goes out for a goal kick.
What do you think our next change is going to be?
I think, well, I think it should be Rick Wellard if he's fit enough. I don't know what his injury status is, but if he's fit, I'd get him on for Joe Jackson.
Yeah, Rick was getting a bit of a rub pre-game.
Great header. And Max Meaton's done really well.
Oh, that is a strike.
Unbelievable from Pat Nash.
On the bounce.
Shams does really well.
Does well there, yeah, really well.
And it's out to Sanders. Shams will want to be in the attack, but he's not. Sanders out wide to Flatman. Gets it under control. Now Smith. Karoma. Brilliant from Flatman. Finds Sanders, who nonchalantly gets it out wide to Dean, who's got it to Edwards, who looks to beat the man. And it's a really good tackle by number 16 on the near side.
I think Flatty's had his best minutes of the season.
He's been really, really good.
This year, yeah.
Good. To be fair, versus the team, his decision-making has been very, very good.
Oh, no, yeah, no, Flatty's going to come off with the credit from me especially. He's done everything well, passed when he's needed to pass, recycled it when he's needed to. I think it's been good.
Just
been
needs
a bright spark. Yeah, he does need to go on it. I'm hoping he does get that.
Great touch from Joe Jackson. It's probably a smart decision not to get the ball in the box. That's not a smart decision from Jack Dean, but he's got away with it.
Flatty so far. Oh, it's a great ball.
Really, really nice from Tom Smith into Cooksey. Now across to Joe Jackson. Oh, can't quite get it across. Actually, really well covered by the number 10. He worked hard there, but Perry Coles is totally isolated. But Farnham, again, susceptible to the counter-attack, but Daryl Sanders drops in, does the dirty work, and wins the ball back for Farnham, and Farnham will reset. Kenane to Tom Smith. Sorry for any intermission issues you found with us going offline, as Lewis Flatman...
Flatty's does well again there. Oh, he's just...
Oh, it's a nearly pin perfect, but Farnham still have the ball with Max Meaton into Shams, who I don't really want to get involved in the play until it gets a bit further up the pitch. Alton call to move the ball and move the press higher. The ball goes long, and Edwards will chase that. We'll check up. But
yeah, I think Flatty's been our bright spark in probably what has been probably not another blockbuster performance, but we've still got time to
turn it on.
Put some fluidity together.
Farnham throw on the far side. No one getting ready yet for Farnham, bar Dean Rule, who would be my sub if Rick isn't available.
Yeah, I think Dean Rule will.
Just moving the ball faster in that sort of final third is. We're getting a lot of the ball here, where Lamar's just picked it up, but Daz is isolated.
Yeah, I think where Daz will naturally do that role in the 10, Joe Jackson isn't probably as natural in that position, so...
Huge amount of space for Tom Smith to get the ball in, and finally a really good ball. Jamal Edwards! Oh. And again, hooked away by Alton.
That, for me, is probably one of the better balls in today.
Really good.
That's how you want it delivered.
Lamar wins the foul, very smart. I think Lamar's been really good today as well.
Yeah, Lamar's been really good at breaking up the play.
He's done his job. Yeah, only one time where he's kind of got, ideas above his station, shooting from 35 yards.
Yeah. No, you don't want Lamar doing that. But yeah, Lamar's been good. Cooksy's been tidy. I know we've still got, probably 25, 30 minutes to play, I'm guessing. 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think either Lamar or Joe Jackson for Dean Rule would be my sub. Just keep the ball a bit better in the final third.
Yeah, and just
Harry Cooksey.
Take the pressure off Dazza having to always be that creative spark. Dean Rule can also then link it up a lot more naturally, I'd say. Nothing against Joe, but Rule is probably that more natural.
The other option is Postance and you move Flatty back.
Yeah, I like Flat in a deeper role. He's got great quality, as you've seen today.
Clip round the corner to Joe Jackson, who does really well to recycle the ball when he was under pressure. Lamar Karoma looks for Sanders.
Yeah, Lamar has been efficient today.
Very.
He's been breaking up the play. He's done really well.
Karoma out to Canane. Now to Harry Cooksey picking up a left-back role. As we talked about earlier, that's where we want our centre midfielders when the fullbacks bomb on.
But listen, I don't mind this. If
That's a
poor. I do mind that.
Poor pass by Max Meaton.
Cooksey giving Max a bit there, which also don't mind. But yeah, I don't mind, that play where we're just keeping the ball. If we've got the ball, they can't score. You can see Alton just sitting back now, and we're 1-0 up. So
there is a substitution, and it is Dean Rule.
That pass just getting away from Max there to Jacko probably should do better. But again, it's probably a different style of play to probably what Max has been used to. We're keeping the ball and that concentration, even to make those passes, you've got to. It can sometimes seem too easy.
Goal scorer Harry Cooksey being subbed off for Dean Rule. That probably sees Joe Jackson drop deep.
Yeah, I reckon
that's the engine.
Jackson and Lamar will just sit now, which is nice. Then I can't see them breaking that down. I don't want to speak too soon. And yeah, you've got the creativity now of Rule and Dazza in the 10.
Yeah, sensible substitution. It's what we would have done.
It's a results business.
Cooksey, maybe not the sub I was expecting, but understand why we're trying to do it. What we're trying to do at 1-0. Joe Sowden with a nice turn into Perry Coles, who's been on there on his own all game. Joe Jackson, nicely done. And now there's an opportunity for Farnham to break. Can Karoma find Sanders? He can. Who drinks inside? Oh, one more touch and Farnham are away.
Lamar does well again there, though.
Tom Smith, really good.
Well.
A few early hiccups for Tom Smith on this near side, but he's been really good since. Jackson, Sanders, Rule. Yeah, that's where we want to pick up the spot and again move it faster. That's where Farnham have probably lacked a bit of impetus, and that was probably a forced pass that didn't need to happen. Farnham can keep the ball here. Nice touch from Max Meaton, and it's a nice high ball from Pat Nash to slow things down, and Alton get a throw in on the far side on the halfway line. Yeah,
I think you see that natural link-up play by Ruley and Dazza there. It's a bit more natural for their game.
Chance here for Alton as he bears down on goal. There's a man over. It's shown brilliantly by Ryan Canane on his weak foot, but Farnham have got away with one there, really. That's the first chance for Alton in this second half where they've really opened them up, and Farnham have actually won a goal kick there.
Yeah, no, he scuffed his shot. Ryan done well to shut the goal down. Wasn't much on him, even if he did get that shot on target. I think Ryan blocks it. But yeah,
it was one pass though, wasn't it?
It's not good enough. We've got to be shutting up shop now. No goals against, no risks. Yes, we can go on and score more, but yeah, we've been opened up now.
Pat Nash still yet to make a save, but Farnham have conceded a couple of chances, especially on the counter-attack. Joe Jackson with the header. This time to nobody. And that is a foul. Dean Rule on the
just
Alton
shows
player.
that Alton is still going for it.
Ball's gone over the top towards the 10. Into a bit of space. And
fans are finding their voice now as well.
Alton with a bit of space here on the far side to get across. Tom Smith needs to get across there. He does. Can Alton get a shot away? They can. It's deflected about 8 times. It's now up in the air. No one's come for it.
Well done.
And that's a foul all day long on Pat Nash.
I think
but
that shot hit the Alton player, didn't it?
I think it did.
Yeah.
What a good chance, and Farnham under a bit of pressure.
Yeah. Fans are starting to find their voice, seeing that boys need a bit of encouragement. I like that though, fans singing.
Absolutely.
Creating a bit of encouragement.
need to keep the ball, Farnham, for the next 5 minutes are important, just to settle the nerves after a few Alton attacks.
15, 20?
Yeah, you have 20 probably with added time. And 2 Alton substitutes, number 4 and number 17. Or is it 3 Alton substitutes? Oh, no. Perry Cole's going off?
Yeah, Perry looks like he's off, yeah.
Okay, so a few Alton subs, probably in the forward area. Coles, who's had a really good game, holding the ball up.
Coles has done well. He's been isolated up there, but he's held it up well. But I think, you know, yes, he's held it up well, but when he's got no one around him, then Ryan does often nip in and nick it off him eventually. But you've got to change it up. You know, 2 games in 3 days, they've made a few subs there. I think Postance looks like he's stripped down.
Hawley 2, Tootingham Mitcham 0.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Goal for Fleet Town as well, and a goal for Knapp Hill.
Hawley took another team close in, was it the FA Cup? Was it
Croydon.
Croydon.
Yeah. Hawley look like a much better team this season than they were last season.
Picking up some results, obviously. I know the game's not done, but 2-0 up.
2-0 up
against
at home against Tooting.
It's a good result for them.
Good result for us.
They can hold it, and for us, yeah.
Ball goes forward from Pat Nash. Flatman flicks it on, but to nobody. Farnham need to get hold of the ball.
Like we were saying, you probably get about 2 lives, maybe 3 lives max of losses.
Out of losses, certainly.
For sure.
Especially when there's other competitive teams up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Smith with the ball forward. Flatman flicks it on. Smith long, and Shamal Edwards will chase that against the number 3. That's a really good touch, but you will follow that all the way in as well. Ooh, tell you what, the goalkeeper didn't fancy that, did he?
Tell you what, the ball over the top, the 3 to bring that down.
Unbelievable.
That's not easy to do. He's done well. There's confidence as well.
Player down, and it's Lewis Flatman.
Is that a cramp or is it flat? He's got a bit of an issue at the minute with his calf. It might be that, or is it cramp?
Well, no, we've obviously got a prolific goal scorer in Charlie Postance off the bench if required.
Ready-made change. I'm pretty sure it might.
Oh yeah, he's on. He's there. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Perfect. I think he's been our brightest spark.
Yeah, credit to Flatty today. He hasn't got his goal, which I know strikers are judged on, but yeah, he's linked up the play really well today.
Only really had one chance, didn't he? Through the middle in the second half. Goalkeeper saved really nicely with his feet.
Yeah. He had the shot that was moving, I think, in the first half, which was just over. But yeah, he's done well. He's been bright. Other than a goal, which is...
He looks like in a decent amount of pain here. Being helped off by...
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Physio and a player. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was... I don't know if it was an impact injury or...
Yeah, he's been struggling a bit with a tight calf, so whether that's...
It just doesn't feel like
tightened up and he's pulled it maybe, or if it's an impact injury, I couldn't see it, to be honest.
Get him sat down. On comes Charlie Postance.
He's been good though, Flatty, today.
Really, really
well
good.
Well done to him.
Earned his stripes.
Yes.
Centre-forward partnership that we saw on Saturday, now on the field for the remaining sort of 15, 16 minutes.
Different dynamic now, obviously, with the height of Postance and the speed of Shams on the flicks. Still like us to play as well, though. We've got good players in the middle, but it just adds another dynamic.
Great flick on by Postance, first time, but straight out for a goal kick. And Farnham just need to be aware of the counter-attack.
Alton ups into play, which is always nice to see and watch.
They're going to go long, and that's going to cannon off the...
We've got to be tighter on those opportunities. The player cannot be chested.
Edwards into, really nicely touched by Sanders, and Farnham just need to slow it down from here.
Nice.
Looks to go forward. Now Sanders and wins a throw-in. Nice pass
well there. Ryan was loading up the long one, and he's just played a laser.
On 2. This just needs to be what away if they do lose. Smith to Postance. Very delayed reaction from the fans. Canane does well to win the ball back. But Alton have come away with it, and it's a foot race between Meaton and the attacker, and Meaton wins it, and Pat hits it high towards the middle and brought down by Sanders, but Alton onto it quickly and find some space in that right back area. And he's tracked by Jackson, and Jackson does a really good job of getting across and stopping the cross. Farnham just want to limit the chances here now. That's what you'd be saying if you're on the pitch.
Yeah, that's
limit
sure.
the cross.
As a defender, I'd be, screaming at us to make sure we're not taking any risks. Shut up, shop. I know 1-0 is obviously a dodgy scoreline, but
It's a good ball in that. But it's a bit wide. 10 picks it up. He's been lively all game. And he's come away with the ball. And he's cut inside. And it's blocked really nicely, and it's only gone out for a throw into Alton. But every time the 10 turns,
yeah,
you
you've got
look
to worry
worried.
about him as a player. You'd be worried about him. Yeah, you've got to make sure we keep him quiet in the later stages of the game.
Opportunity for a long throw for Alton. Players into the box, and it does go into the box, and it's out by Jackson towards Sanders, who gets it under control and drives
Breaking
forward.
here,
Can he
Shamal
find?
with the
He
pace,
finds
there we go.
Shams, and Shams drives into the box himself. Postance, it's a good save. It didn't ever look like it was going on target, and it goes out for a corner.
Yeah,
Chance for Farnham Town to break away, Guy.
Yeah, no, I think you could see that building up there. Dazzle with a lovely ball. I think Shams' touch probably
touch.
just let him down there. It's probably a bit too heavy. Maybe could have come inside the pitch a bit, but yeah, you can see that. We could all see that that was an opportunity with Shams' pace.
Absolutely.
Win a corner though, so it's not all dead and buried yet.
Canane goes up. Farnham leave Meaton, Karoma, and Smith at the back against 2 Alton players. Chance for Farnham to get the ball in the box with Sanders over the ball. Ball does go in towards Canane, who attacks it and can't quite get to it.
That's done well against Ryan there.
Rule. Jackson. Can he find Dazza? He can. Chance for Sanders. Gets it across. Oh, it went over the first man, but not the second, and that ball is going to bounce out of the attacker's
by the
feet
10.
and straight into Sanders again, who clips it towards Shamal Edwards, who jumps.
It's in.
Oh, just wide. Did really well with the header.
That's done well. It looks like he's holding his groin, limping a bit.
There's a player down on the far side as well.
It's not what we want. We don't want Dazza with any little niggles. See Kai stripping off now. That might be the change coming.
Yeah, he's limping away.
Yeah, Dazza's just holding his groin there. Hopefully nothing serious. I'll expect that to be the change. Yeah, there we go.
Substitution for Farnham is Kai Tanner for Daryl Sanders. Little niggle. You'd expect now Kai to try and pull the teams wider.
Yeah, Kai will add energy, and look, Kai signed eventually for us, but yeah, he's got tenacity. He's a young lad. He's got no fear. Yeah, I think he'll offer something now. I think in these later stages.
About 83 minutes played. So 7+ added, and there's been a few injuries in the second half, but nothing too dramatic. Farnham find themselves 1 goal to the good. Goals around the grounds whilst we wait here. Naphill are still winning. Camberley are winning against Fleet. And Hawley are beating Tooting and Mitcham, which is probably the shock of the day.
Probably, yeah. How are Camberley this year? Have they started?
Hit and miss.
Hit and miss.
Hit and miss. So difficult to judge, isn't it? Anybody in that mid-table, so difficult to judge about how good they actually are.
Yeah.
If they've, they're sitting on 3 or 4 points, it's just impossible to tell if they're any good, or it's just the teams they've played.
Yeah. And I think, looking at the league table early on, we seem to have played a few of the teams towards the lower end.
Yeah.
end
Shamal
at the
Edwards here.
start of the season.
Plays it nicely into Kai Tanner. Poor touch, but comes away with the ball. Probably needs to find the corner flag or a pass. Does the latter into Karoma. Nicely into
Yeah,
Dean
finding
Rule.
the pocket's nice there.
Can he find Tanner? He can. Chance for him to drive at the defence. Tries the cross instead. And it's going to be headed out by an Alton player for a Farnham throw. And Farnham will happily slow the game down here. Dean Rule probably using himself more in a Sanders role now.
Yeah, Rowley found a nice little pocket there, and I think he'll do that.
Probably a role he is more used to, having played it for Baggy Lee
Scored some goals last year, didn't he?
He did. Played more wide than he does for us.
Did they have a 3 up top, did they, I suppose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice touch from Jack Dean, and Kai happy to slow it down, and back to Pat Nash for far now. Canane loads it up, goes long really nicely to Tom Smith. It's a great touch. Gets out his feet. Oh, and he can't quite get the ball across, but it was nice. Farnham Town needs to get back into some shape to stop the counter-attack. Ball does go long towards Canane, who deals with it, but Alton pick up the second ball. And run it straight out of play, and Farnham Town will slow it down yet again. .86 minutes played as the ball is in a melee.
How's the lino flagged that from there?
Farnham needs to get back into some shape.
I'm not quite sure how the lino could see that.
He was absolutely sure though, wasn't he? Flagged it immediately.
Players must have had a good view, but from
very few foul for Farnham.
I mean, what's your views of the game been today?
I think it's been flat. Alton haven't really troubled us, bar 3 or 4 counter-attacks, which is going to be the theme of the season as teams absorb lots of pressure. We haven't created a load of chances, which is probably the most out of character of us. Normally, you know, we create too many chances, and it's been about finishing them. You know,
I'd
actually,
say the last 3 games this game,
really good,
including Cobham and Stoneham, haven't been
really good from Dean Rule. Just past the player, jinks it in. It's a really poor touch from Kai Tanner.
Kai couldn't take that on the turn there, tried it. Rowley finding another little pocket there though.
Really nice from Dean Rule. Drifted past a player and it's another sub. They're just incessant at this level. Substitutions. Just
Adam New coming on, is that? Big centre half.
Interesting.
Maybe going to probably come on up top.
Especially with
try and cause some
well,
issues
a goal,
with a long
only a
ball
goal.
and a flick.
Only a goal to the good.
Late on. Probably want Ryan Canaan to go out there and pick him up though. Not doing that yet, but if I was in there, I'd definitely be chucking Ryan out to him.
Yeah, it's him and 10.
He does challenge.
Canaan does really well. And Farnham.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah, have some of that. Dunked.
Yeah, I think it looks like the big lad's going to try and play on.
Canaan goes long. That's going to be the ball for Farnham as Shamal Edwards goes past the player. And
does well again.
Kai Tanner needs to pick that one up. He does, but again, a wasteful pass. Now needs to recycle it.
Now he can just keep the ball though, I think. You know, they're putting a bit of pressure.
Why on earth were Farnham trying to play that pass? Just take your time. But done really well. Now Kai needs to slow it down.
There we go.
Lamar.
That's it.
Now needs to find a pass.
Much better. Tom doesn't need to necessarily go forward here, but he does.
That's good. That's good.
Lovely ball, though.
Into Dean Rule, who needs to just hold the ball. Jinx inside. Chance. Goal! Farnham Town! Charlie Postance. 4 substitute appearances, 4 goals for Postance in the league. But all the credit has to go to Tom Swift and Dean Rule on that left-hand side.
Yeah, no, I just said then Tom doesn't need to go forward. He plays a great ball to Rowley, and Rowley does all the rest there. Jinx and jives and gets a bit of space, rolls it across to Postance, who could have
really
missed.
Nice finish.
Couldn't miss. But yeah, credit to Rowley there.
That was the 89th minute as that ball hit the back of the net.
Yeah, I did. I was a bit critical of Rowley on, I think, the Cobham game.
Yeah, he just tried to do too much.
Few under-hit passes, trying to do too much. But yeah, he was brilliant there, and he's found the pockets really well in the
brilliant substitution.
15-20 minutes that he's been on, and yeah, makes an assist to cap it off.
In that build-up play, it looked like we were trying to do too much again, Guy, but then we then we just did the simple things well again.
Yeah, no, that was it. And yeah, like I said, told Tom to go back, but he didn't listen from here. He plays it forward and we score. So yeah,
very good
full
from
credit
Kai.
to the boys on the pitch.
Farnham Town fans in good voice around the ground with their flags on the right hand side. It looks fantastic behind the goal, and I'm pleased for them that they've been able to see both goals down their end.
All about a clean sheet.
Absolutely.
All about a clean sheet.
Proper defenders comment that.
Yeah, no,
2-0 up away
2-0.
from home. It's all about the clean sheet. And it would continue our run of not conceding a goal in the league.
Yeah, we want to keep that going. I think I did it one year where I think I was saying to Frank, kept 7 or 8 clean sheets in the league, and it starts to get, national press.
We're starting to get to that level.
It starts to get the stats going, and
This would be our 4th league game without a goal conceded, and we would have scored 4-4-3-2. So 2 is 8.
13.
Yeah,
Quick math.
very good. Not just a pretty face. Edwards does really well. Really well. Could he get it out his feet? He couldn't. Oh, he's gone through him there.
Swung his leg there.
Oh, we'll have the foul all day long.
Didn't actually catch him, but I think it was the intent that the ref is given.
Not sure whether or not Alton would have preferred to keep the ball going, but they've played it quickly. And Tom Smith's done really well again, as has Joe Jackson with the second attempt. And Dean Rule goes past 1. And does well to block the counter-attack for Alton. And there's a man down on the pitch, and the referee will stop it as Tom Smith is down in the Farnham half. Farnham picked up a couple of knocks here in this game.
Fans enjoying that we are top of the league.
They're right. They are right. Is there any other goals around the ground?
Farnham Army.
No more goals.
Army.
No more goals. Tooting still 2-0 down at Hawley. Farnham need to concentrate on this clean sheet now. Minutes remain. As Alton have the ball in the middle of the pitch. Farnham need to press high but stay in good shape. Kai Tanner coming out to deal with this. Play and does really, really well to win the ball back and stall the attack. But 16's found the striker. Now in a bit of space, and Kai Tanner does really well to lash it away towards Postance. Edwards will pick up that ball and does well to win a foul. It's really clever from the striker.
I have to say the skipper's not a bad player.
He
He's done well, and they've soaked up a lot of pressure.
Kai Tanner's down as well.
Start with a lot that's been thrown down his throat, and that touch as well. That was a great touch earlier.
Keeping an eye on the scores around the league, as Farnham Town currently the only team to have played 4-1-4. If the result stays the same, which at this stage of the game you'd be very expectant that it would be. Some drumming behind the goal for the Farnham Town fans who have travelled no more than 3 miles down the road to Alton.
Not a bad journey on a
Decent away day on a bank holiday. Max Meaton over the ball.
Have you made a decision yet on your second game?
I think I'll be at Badshot Lee.
You're going to rub it in their faces.
I absolutely am.
Top of the league.
Absolutely. Joe Jackson with a header. Charlie Postance with the knockdown, and that is wasteful from the man we've just said has had a very good game, the number 3 for Alton Football Club.
Definitely something I want to see more of, the fans in voice. And
yeah, no, they've been good today.
We are top of the league, yeah, that's great. It's taken a while for us to give them something to sing about, but we're top of the league. It's good times down the club.
Jack Dean throws towards Charlie Postance. He's given a foul on the handball for Postance. Looked like it hit his head, to be honest, but his hands were up in the air.
But yeah, certainly as a player, having that voice is definitely spurs you on.
Absolutely.
And I know the boys out there will hear that and they'll really appreciate it.
I hope they go over and clap at the end.
Yeah, 100%.
Tom Smith with a big shout and gets to it. Ball goes over the top towards Canane, deals with it straight to Jackson. Now Farnham Town have got a chance to get a ball forward with Dean Rule, who comes out of it, and Kai Tanner plays in Charlie Postons out on the far side. Not a player you want necessarily in that position, it was the other way round. Kai Tanner, Joe Jackson. Farnham relax now on the ball. Alton look totally defeated, not even tracking back. Can Farnham get a third? Now into Charlie Postons, goes wide really nicely into Jack Dean with a great touch. And he's been taken out, surely!
I think he has won the ball. We couldn't see it, but maybe he's been reading Twitter and Farnham have been getting too many decisions of late.
Linesman didn't give it, ref didn't give it, and number 10 comes away with it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And Kai Tanner gets a yellow card, and he chased it down, and that will cost him 25 quid.
Ref has been good though.
He has. I can't fault, and I agree with you. I think it's probably a great tackle.
I think he gets the foot. We can't see for sure, but I mean they seem pretty adamant it wasn't. We're always going to call for those.
Chance for Alton to upset the clean sheet of Farnham Town.
I mean, I want to return with no goals conceded.
One of the last kicks of the game towards the back stick. Great header by Charlie Postons. Flicks up. Does really well. Can he stop the cross? Still plenty of men in the box for Alton, but that is really poor. And this is a chance for Shamal Edwards if he can kick and run. Dean Rule needs to get up with him.
He's got his head down.
Edwards does really well, beats the man.
He's got to.
He's got to try to go round him.
Shams.
Shamal Edwards still with the ball. Still with the ball. He did so well to get past the man.
I think he's tried to just roll it with his.
He did it against Cobham. He did it against Cobham last season. He just rolled it round the goalie. It was gorgeous, but he couldn't quite reenact it.
I think what he's tried to do is roll the ball with his studs rather than actually take a physical touch around the goal.
Terrible for my bet if I've got Shams to score more goals than Harlan this season in the league. I saw my name up in the lights as he went through.
Oh, Pat's done well.
Pat Nash, very smart. High as well to waste time. Good jump. No foul for Kai Tanner here.
No foul, Kai. That's not a foul, Lino.
Alton move the ball quickly. Joe Jackson does well. Karoma.
He's a really wiry player, Joe.
Nice into Dean Rule. Can he break free himself? Calls for the corner. Kai Tanner.
Just keep the ball.
Dean Rule. Farnham Town ordered to keep the ball from my co-commentator and club captain, Guy Hollis. And
can't be long left now.
There can't be.
Couple of minutes.
Oh, at most. At most.
And this is where, as a defender, I'd be saying keep the ball, keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas if you're a striker, they're probably thinking, oh, maybe nick one
in the
dying stages.
Into the corner with Kai. And that is it. Farnham Town win 2-0 after a very good second half performance.
Yeah.
A pretty lacklustre first one, but they really responded well and scored 2 goals in front of the clock enders.
Yeah, not the best game I'd say to watch. Got the game won in the end. Probably special mentions to Flatty, who looks in a bit of pain over on the side, and then Rawley, who's come on and put a ball on the plate for Postons to tap it in. Cooksey obviously with the goal.
Again, we can talk about how good the squad is.
Yeah, no, exactly that. The boys that have come on have, Rawley's created the goal. Postons has scored it. Again, impacts off the bench. Both of those can start every week. We get the job done. Any special comments
from Mr. Pullen down there for the 200 people watching?
I thought we controlled the game very well. Typical derby. And we hate Joe Selden.
And thank you very much for tuning in. We will be live streaming every single midweek game this season, home and away. Hopefully gives you something to watch if you're not in the country or if you're not from around Farnham or the Combined Counties area. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe. Another victory for Farnham Town, 4-4 in the league. And we keep rolling on. 7 on the bounce. And we're off. We're offline in a few minutes' time. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Much love.